Hello students, welcome back to our accountancy class of Merchant Singhi International School. I hope all of you are doing well. Now we are going to start with our new chapter of volume 3, that is chapter number 4, accounting ratios. See, this chapter is in continuation with tools of financial analysis. That means this is one of the tool of financial analysis. We have already learned about the two tools, that was comparative and common size statement, and now further we'll move with accounting this analyze ratio analysis. Now see, ratio analysis is something which analyzes the relation between group of items or two items of financial statement. That means of balance sheet and profit and loss statement, and then we can know our financial strength, our weakness, our historical performance, that how the company is performing, what are its liabilities, what are its assets, are its assets and liabilities enough to work further. All those data or all those analysis can be done with help of ratio analysis. Okay, but see, ratio analysis does not add any information to the available figure. What it does, it just find out the conclusion from already available figure, that how the company has to perform further. There are various type of ratios, that is liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, activity ratio, and profitability ratio. These are basically four major ratios, and there are various ratios in all of them. So today we'll start with first of that is liquidity ratio. Now liquidity ratio shows the short-term financial position of a company. That is company able to pay its short-term debts? Is the company having short assets as so that it can pay its short-term liabilities, that is current liabilities? This ratio is therefore also known as solvency ratio, so that is so that we can know that is company solvent to pay its current commitments from whatever current resources it is having. Okay, so there are two types of liquidity ratio. First is current ratio. Okay, first is current ratio, and next is liquidity ratio. It is also known as quick ratio or acid test ratio. So these are two types of ratio, current ratio and liquidity ratio. We'll find how sums related to them are done. So first we'll start with current ratio, that how current ratio is found out. See class, this is just formula based chapter. If you pay attention and to the concept and understand the concepts well, the sums will be very much easy for you. You just have to learn the formulas and then you can solve your sums. Starting with current ratio, see current ratio generally what it analyzes the relation between total current assets and current liability, that how much times or how much are the current assets of a company compared to its current liabilities. Okay, so the formula for current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities. Okay, current assets are the total current assets divided by current liabilities, and you'll get your answer in pure form, that is in ratio form. Okay, 2:1 or 3:1 or 1.5:1, like this way. But conventionally current ratio 2.2:1 is considered as satisfactory. If any firm's current ratio is 2:1, then that company is said to be solvent, that yes, it is having enough assets to pay its current liabilities. See, this is just a conventionally satisfactory ratio. That doesn't mean in all the sums you'll get your answer as 2:1. Your answer can be 2:1 or something else. It depends upon the question given to you. Now let us solve a some sums, so that it will give you clear picture. Here I am already having a question and I have solved it, and then I'll explain you how I have solved it. Okay, now see, the question is saying, from the following information compute current ratio. Now you have to find current ratio, and in your head you should have the formula for current ratio. Formula for current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities. Okay, so current assets, now check from this given information which are the current assets you are having. So trade receivable is current asset, yes. So write down current assets is equals to trade receivables plus current expense. This prepaid expenses are current assets, yes. So add prepaid expenses. Cash and cash equivalents are current assets, Add current in current assets. Short term investments is also part of current asset. Short term, it is for short term, so it is part of current asset, so also add current asset in current asset. Short term investment. Then machinery. Is machinery part of short term asset or current asset? No, it is fixed asset, so you'll not add machinery. Then bills payable is liability. Sundry creditors is also liability. Debenture is also liability. Inventories is short term asset, so add inventories. Okay, here you'll add inventories. And then current, sorry, this expenses payable is also liability. So there are current assets which are trade payables, trade receivables, prepaid expenses, cash and cash equivalent, short term investments, and inventories. These are the current assets given in the question. Add all of them and then you'll get your total assets as 2 lakh. Current assets, total current assets are 2 lakh. Done. Now you also want what do you want? Current liabilities. So here we were having current liabilities. Machinery was asset. Bills payable is part of current liability. Yes. So add bills payable. Sundry creditors is part of current liabilities. Yes. So add sundry creditors. Debentures is long-term liability. It is not part of short-term liability, so do not add it in current liabilities. Inventories is asset. And expenses payable, that is outstanding expenses, you have to pay it, and those expenses generally we pay it within 1 year, so it is part of current liabilities, so we'll add expenses payable also. Adding 3 of them, you'll get your answer as 1 lakh. So total assets of the firm are 2 lakh and total current liabilities of a firm is 1 lakh. So use your formula. Current ratio is equals to current assets divided by current liabilities. Write down current assets divided by current liabilities. So it will be 2 lakh divided by 1 lakh will give you 2:1. See, this is ideal ratio, 2:1. In this answer, the ratio is ideal, but it is not necessary that always your answer will be 2:1. Okay. This sum is simple. Just what you have to do from the given data, you have to find out which are current assets and which are current liabilities, add them, and then divide current assets divided by current liabilities. Now, this was just a trailer. As we always know that the sums are not that much easy how it seems to be. Now the difficulty level will increase with each sum. Now I'll explain you one more sum so that you can do these sums yourself. Now see, in next question, what it is given here is calculate current ratio from the following. Here you are not given any current asset or liability separately. You have to think, you have to give pressure on your mind, think a bit, and then you can get your answers. Okay. So here, see, what we are given, total assets are given. Total assets means what? Total assets means the total of asset side of a balance sheet. Okay. Total assets are 3 lakh. Fixed assets from that is 1,60,000. Shareholders fund is separately given as 2 lakh. Non-current liability is given as 80,000 and non-current investment, this is a part of asset side, is given as 1 lakh. We are given total assets. Please pay attention and listen to this carefully. We are given total assets. That means total of balance sheet is given. From that, few parts are also given. That from that, fixed assets is 1,60,000. Current non-current investment is 1 lakh. Okay. So what we can do is, see, when we think about our balance sheet, what do you think? Total assets includes what? Fixed assets, non-current investments, and rest would be current assets, right? Now we are given total assets, we are also given fixed assets, we are also given non-current investments. What is not given is current assets. So we can find this missing figure. You can write down 3 lakh here as total assets, then fixed assets, and then non-current investment, and the rest, which the missing figure, you'll get as current assets. Now adding 1,60,000 plus 1 lakh will give you 2,60,000, and 2,60,000 subtracted from 3 lakh will give you 40,000. That means your current assets are 40,000. I hope this is clear. See, this total asset 3 lakh is total assets, and fixed assets and non-current investment are part of it. They are not saying that excluding this. Okay. Total assets is 3 lakh. It is saying that total assets is 3 lakh. It is not saying that excluding fixed assets or non-current investment. That means these two items are included in this total assets. Okay, until and unless it is not saying that it is not included, it is 90% included only. Okay, then now you have got current assets. What about current liabilities? Here you are given non-current liabilities and you're also given shareholders fund. Shareholders fund is given, non-current liabilities is given, but current liabilities is not given. Here also you can find the missing, but there you will require the total of liabilities also. Total of liabilities is not given, but as we know that total assets and total liabilities are same in balance sheet. Whatever there's a total of assets, the same would be the total of liabilities. So you can write as total assets is equals to total liabilities. Now total assets we are already given 3 lakhs, so 3 lakhs will also be equals to total liabilities. Now total liabilities will be what? Total liabilities is equals to shareholders fund, non-current liabilities and current liabilities. These are the part of our total liabilities. Now same, we are having total liabilities as 3 lakh, shareholders fund as 2 lakh and non-current liabilities as 80,000. Here also you can find the missing amount. What you'll do, adding 2 lakh plus 80,000 is 2 lakh 80,000 and subtracting it from 3 lakh. 3 lakh minus 2 lakh 80,000, you'll get your current liabilities as 20,000. Okay, now you got your current assets as 40,000, current liabilities as 20,000. Now you can just use the formula. Current ratio is equals to current assets divided by current liabilities. That is 40,000 divided by 20,000. That will give you 2:1. Okay, 2:1 is clear how it is coming. That is 40,000 divided by 20,000. 20,000 ones are, 20,000 twos are. According to that, it is giving 2:1. I hope this is clear. Here also the answer is 2:1, but that's just a coincidence that both the answers are same. Okay, it's not necessary the answer will be 2:1. I hope this will help you to solve further sums. In next video, I am going to share hints related to next question of T.S. Grewal's, and then I'll give you the assignment to do. Okay, do refer the next question for further sums, which I'll be sharing soon. Thank you.